Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So, how is your health?
It is better now, Prabhuji. I have joined office today.
Okay. So, you can stop the recording, and then I will tell you. Okay. Hare Krishna, devotees. So, we will start reading. Before reading, we will read to our acharyas. We'll start with the pranam mantras. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurandritam Yen Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamrita Namane. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamrita Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gurvan Charane Vishesha Shunyavadi. Paschatya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam galangayati kripadanam mande Shri Gurudevatarunam Paramanandavadhanam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tata Hare Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Agishaya Yasya Vadane Lakshmi Yasya Vakshasi Yasya Aste Hridaya Samritam Nrsimham Aham Bhaje. Yasya Deve Parabhakti Yatha Deve Tatha Guru Tasyeti Kavitayi Artha Prakashante Mahatma. Yonta Pravisya Mamachamayan Prasuttam Sanjeevayatya Akila Shakti Dharasvadham Nyam Shastra Charana Shravanatvagari Prana Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Vijaguru Harivanya Krishna Chitto Vichinto Prayukta Patrigeha Dandasansara Rupa Prabhu Bhajana Sukabdo Majim Samsa Vishwo Vijayati Vikasa Hare Krishna. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. So we're reading from the book The Mood and Mission of Srila Prabhupada by His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj. We are in the part 2. In chapter part 2, in chapter 3, scriptural predictions from the book. It is page number 96. So what is following from the book? From 96. Scriptural predictions. Several ancient scriptural prophecies concern the worldwide spreading of Vaishnavism. Undeniably, Srila Prabhupada was the singular personality who actualized their purport in an unprecedented and superlative manner. Thus, it must be accepted that even indirectly, those prophecies also indicate his role in fulfilling them. Reference 412. Much of this section is derived from Damian Martin's quote, Srila Prabhupada's appearance predicted in scriptures. This is an article by Damian Martins. It's in Sampradaya. The link is given over here. By the way, Damian Martins is one of our devotees. He is more famous as Damian Martins with his legal name because he's a scholarly person, Sanskrit scholar. He translates mostly Holiday Vidyabhushan works into English. Srimad Bhagavatam. There are several Srimad Bhagavatam verses of which Srila Prabhupada fulfilled or demonstrated the purport. Among them, one in particular practically defines his mission. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratislokam namanyanantasya yashonkitani yat shunmanti gayanti grananti sadavaha. On the other hand, that literature, which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord, is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. 413 reference. This shloka is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, fifth chapter, 11th number text. Among the noteworthy points in this verse is that Srimad Bhagavatam is described as being meant to bring about a revolution. And as there has been no such spiritual revolution since Srila Vyasadeva wrote this 5,000 years ago, this description must apply to the present Krishna consciousness movement. Reference 414. This analysis of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 11, is adapted from Satsarup Das Goswami, Srila Prabhupada Nectar 3.19. Another point, the verse states, in quotes, such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, unquote. Srila Prabhupada's original Bhagavatams, published in the early 1960s, were, from the literary perspective, imperfectly composed. Hence, this verse further predicts Srila Prabhupada's appearance and spreading of the Krishna consciousness movement. Srila Prabhupada has been described as Shaktiavesh avatar, and generally avatars are predicted and described in the revealed scriptures. Here we find confirmation that Srila Prabhupada is that Shaktiavesh avatar of Lord Krishna who was deputed by Krishna to accomplish the purpose described in this verse, to create a worldwide revolution in the misdirected lives of an impious civilization. By analyzing this verse, we can derive inspiration to participate in this revolution. Such a beautiful one. Yeah. 415 reference. The adaptation from Srila Prabhupada Nectar ends here. Other verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, the purport of which was fulfilled in an unprecedented manner by Srila Prabhupada, are quoted below. कृष्णे स्वधूमा भगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह कलौ नष्टदृशानेशा पुनरार्कोऽधुनोदितः. This Bhagavata Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. 416 reference. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto 1, chapter 3, text 33. Kiratahunandra Pulinda Pulkasha Abhira Shumbha Yavana Kashadayah Ye Anye Chapapayatapashrayashrayah Shuddhanti Tasmai Prabhavishnave Namaha. Kiratas, Hunas, Andhras, Pulindas, Pulkashas, Abhiras, Shumbhas, Yavanas, members of the Khasa races, and even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. 417 reference. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 18. Tadvai vidanti taranti cha deva mayam Sri Shudrahu na shabara api papa jiva yadyadbhuta krama parayana shila shikshas Triyajana api kim nusruta dharanaye. Surrendered souls, even from groups leading sinful lives, such as women, the laborer class, the mountaineers, and the shabaras, or even the birds and beasts, can also know about the science of Godhead and become liberated from the clutches of the illusory energy by surrendering unto the pure devotees of the Lord and by following in the footsteps in devotional service. 418 reference. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, text, Chapter 7, text 46. Janasya Krishna Dvimukhasya Daivat Adharmashīlasya Sudukhitasya Anugrahyeha Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardhanasya. O my Lord, great philanthropic souls travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the God, to the Lord. Of particular note is the term adharma shila, quote, disposed to be irreligious. 419 reference. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 3. Yannamadeya Shravananukirtanad Yat Prahavanad Yat Smaranad Apikvachit Swadhopi Sadhya Shravanaya Kalpate Kutapunaste Bhagavanu Darshanat. To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Lord, Supreme Person face to face, even a person born in a family of dog eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him. 420 reference. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 33, Text 6. Ahabata swapachoto gariyan yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam tepustapaste juhu shashnurarya Vamanachu namagrananti yete. Oh, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in the family of dog eaters, such persons are worshipable. Persons who chant the holy name of your Lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all the good manners of the islands. To be chanting the holy name of your Lordship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required. 431 reference. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 33, Text 7. Vipradvishat gunayuta daravindanabha padaravinda vimukhat swapacham varishtam manye dadarpita manovachane hitartha pranam bhunati sakulam natu bhuri manaha. If a Brahmana has all 12 of the Brahminical qualifications, as they are stated in the book called Sanat Sujata, but is not a devotee and is averse to the lotus feet of the Lord, is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog eater but who has dedicated everything mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmana because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas the so called Brahmana, in a position of false prestige, cannot purify even himself. 422 reference. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 10. There is some message in the chat. Oh, okay. दुष्करक्कोनु साधूनां दुष्ययचो वा महात्मानां यै संगृहीतो भगवान् सात्वतां वृषभो हरिः. For those who have achieved the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of the pure devotees, what is impossible to do and what is impossible to give up? 423 reference. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 5, Text 15. See, is there? Okay, it's going to end here. After that, okay, new section. Even at the beginning of this unequaled Shastra, the second among 18,000 verses epitomizes Srila Prabhupada's personality and mission. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. I think devotees know this verse. Which verse is it? We have just read.
Pranam Prabhuji, it is Dharma Projita Ketab.
Yeah.
Varanasan.
Dharma Projita Kaitavatra Paramo Nirmat Sananam Sitam Vaidyam Vastu Vastu Sivadam Napatriyon Mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimba Paririshwar Sadhya Vriddhi Avriddhate Atra Krishipi Sashri Tatshana. This is the verse. Okay, so we reach the reference 424. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 1, text 2. And the reference. See also Srimad Bhagavatam, canto 7, chapter 9, text 28, 43, 44, quoted on. Okay, now I'll stop here. Some of the devotees to read. To see some other devotees. Okay, Priya Kulkarni, Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandatana.
You can read the Sanskrit verses. If you're not able to read the Sanskrit, I can read, but you can read.
I'll try.
Mataji, when you're reading, you're reading for everybody, and you should be slow and clear. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You're reading from the book or from the screen?
I do have book, but I don't know the page number of the book. If you have
Okay,
it.
I can tell you the page number of the book. It is from page number. You have to read in 100. Page number 100.
100. Okay.
Yeah, it's from Padma Puran. You can read this particular section, and we will go for another devotee to read another section. Okay.
Okay. Padma Puran, the Bhagavata Mahatmya, glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, which appears in the Padma Puran. Uttarakhanda records Bhakti Devi speaking to Narad Muni in Vrindavan at the beginning of Kali Yuga in a manner that clearly profiles the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Idam stetam parityajya vidam vidisam gamete maya. I'll leave this place and go to foreign lands. In the course of his response, Narada said, Kalina sadresha kopi yugo nasti varanane tasmis teven khaya pai
तस्मिंस्
tas,
त्वाम्
tasmins tvam khaya pai swamami घेई जाने जाने अन्य धर्मांस त्रिसकर्त्या पुरसकर्त्या महोत्सवम यदि प्रवर्ते न त्वं तादा दासो हरेर्नहि त्वद् अन्विता स ये जीवा भविष्यन्ति कलवत इह पपिनोपि गमिष्यन्ति निर्भया
पापिनोपि
हरि
it's पापिनोपि गमिष्यन्ति निर्भया हरिमन्दिरम्
पापिनोष्टि
पापिनोपि
पापिनोपि गमश्यन्ति निर्भया हरि मंदिरम. O beautiful faced lady, there is no age equal to Kali. In this age, I will personally preach your glories in each and every home and establish you within the hearts of each and every individual. Hear my vow, giving priority to devotional festivals over all other forms of religiosity. If I do not
religious religiosity.
religiosity. If I do not spread you everywhere on earth, then I shall no longer be known as servant of Hari. The living entities born in this age of Kali will be devotee who attend the abode of Lord Hari without any hindrances, even if they are sinners.
Okay.
The
Please read
Bhagavad.
please read the reference here on the screen.
Okay. Reference is Padma Purana, Uttarakhand, 194.14, and 16th verse, I guess. Okay. The Bhagavata Mahatmya also describes how bhakti can be received in Kali Yuga through.
Revived. Mataji, how bhakti can be revived.
Oh, sorry. Bhakti can be revived in Kali Yuga through recital of Srimad Bhagavatam. Significantly, when Srila Prabhupada left Vrindavan and came back to America, his
No,
only
no, came to
possession
America, not came back to America. Came to America.
his only possession was a trunk containing the first volumes of his Srimad Bhagavatam, which he considered his most important work. It is also significant that he instituted a recitation of Bhagavatam within the daily liturgy in his temples, and that
Liturgy. Mataji, liturgy.
liturgy in his temples, and that Srimad Bhagavatam in the form of Krishna book was the first of Srila Prabhupada's books to be distributed in large quantities. It was Srila Prabhupada who successfully introduced devotional services in the West, particularly by the recitation and distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam, as he had foreseen when composing the poem Markinne Bhagavata Dharma.
Markine Bhagavata Dharma. Markine.
Markine Bhagavata Dharma. Krishna consciousness in America on his arrival at Boston Harbor in September 1965.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu, Rupanand Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, you can start reading this. There are some verses. I don't know how is it. You're reading from book. You can read from the
I
book.
am reading from book, but this verse is from some other language, I think.
It's in
So,
Tamil. Even for me, it is difficult. Maybe we
so I would
can.
request you to recite it.
I also don't know much. Maybe some devotees are there here beside me properly.
Sri Vaishnava Versa. Some 5,000 years ago, the Sri Vaishnava sent Namalavar,
No, no, Nammalwar. Nammalwar.
Namalavar,
Mm.
described in his
No, no, Tiruvai Mori. It's called as Tiruvai Mori.
Tiruvanamoli.
Tiruvai Moli.
5.2.1, a vision that he experienced. Reference.
Reference is 427. Yeah.
Tiruvai Moli, a major section of the Divya Prabandha, 4,000 Tamil verses in praise of Narayana that are canonical to Sri Vaishnavas. Prabhuji, kindly recite.
Poliga, Poituru. I don't know. I don't want to unnecessarily kill it. We can skip it. If any devotees want to recite, they can do so. Any Tamil devotees here? Mataji, Tamil devotees there? Nobody. Okay, no problem.
So,
You can just skip the verse and then you can chant the translation. That's okay.
victory, victory, victory. I behold something wonderful. All the inauspiciousness of the living entities is destroyed. No one is going to hell. Yamraj has no more work to do, and the effects of Kali Yuga have ceased to exist. This is because all over the world an increasing number of Lord Vishnu's devotees sing his name while dancing and playing musical instruments. Shri Vaishnavas
One
understand this
second.
text.
One second, Prabhu. I saw that some devotee can read it. யாரோ இருக்காங்க மாதாஜி ரிசைட் பண்றதுக்கு இந்த வருஷம் மாதாஜி ஹரே கிருஷ்ணன் பிரபுஜி மாதாஜி யார் இருக்காங்க everybody is there நம்ம I don't know. Okay, no problem. Prabhuji, you can continue to read. I saw the message, but Mataji, I don't know if she's there or not. Gopinatheshwari Mataji, you can decide, but she's not there.
Vaishnavas understand this text to refer to the appearance of Shripad Ramanujacharya. Yet in its description of Sankirtana, it may also be applied to the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the reference to a worldwide manifestation of grace is certainly applicable to the endeavors of Srila Prabhupada. Reference. Sri Sridhar Srinivas Das, A Divine Prophecy, page number 86, for further discussion of this verse.
Okay.
Other verses. Apart from the verses quoted above, there are others, the purports of which Srila Prabhupada fulfilled in a unique, unimagined manner. Examples are the one concerning Yukta Vairagya. Reference.
Discussed in detail on.
Discussed in detail on. Okay. And many that speak of the power of bhakti to elevate fallen persons. For instance, Chandalopi Dvija Shreshto Hari Bhakti Parayanaha Hari Bhakti Vihinischa Dvijopi Swapachodhama.
No. Hari Bhakti Vihin, Prabhu, Hari Bhakti Vihinascha Vijopi Swapachadamaha.
Supachad Abha. Even if one is if one is born in the family of a Chandala, if one engages in the devotional service of the Lord, he becomes the best of Brahmanas. But even a Brahmana who is devoid of devotional services on the level of the lowest dog eaters. Reference quoted in Srimad Bhagavatam, verse number 4.31.10. Purport: this Puranic statement is found in Chaitanya Mangala, Adi Khand, Keshor Leela, Prabhura Gaya Yatra, Song 31, text 52, and In Samskar Deepika text 15, there are similar verses which, with slight variation in Narada Puran 1.34.41 and 1.37.12. Especially salient to Srila Prabhupada's missions was Hari Bhakti Vilas 2.12, which he often cited in justification of his revolutionary policy of investing Westerners with the sacred thread of a Brahmana, as quoted and explained in his purport to Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 5.24.17. Yatha, yatha kanchat,
5 seconds.
Prabhuji,
यथा काञ्चनतां याति कांस्यं रसविदानतः तथा दीक्षाविधानेन विजप्तं जायते नृणाम्.
as one can transform bell metal into gold by treating it with mercury, one can also turn a low-born man into a Brahmana by initiating him properly into Vaishnava activities. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is trying to turn Malichas and Yavanas into real Brahmanas by properly initiating them and stopping them from engaging in meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. One who stopped these four principles of sinful activities and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra can certainly become a pure Brahmana through the process of bona fide initiation as suggested by Srila Sanatan Goswami.
Okay, Prabhu. I
Thank
just need to read. We are going for the another chapter together. So what's the time? It's 1:47. So I can request another message. Sujana Mataji, today you can read. Is it possible for you to read?
Yes,
So you have to be slow. You have to be slow and clear. Okay.
okay, Prabhuji, I will try my best.
Yes. Ma'am.
Srila Prabhupada's divinity and immanence. A pure devotee is
Gavir Atma. Gavir
Gavir-
Atma.
a pure devotee is Gavir Atma. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.11.32 text. Leslie deep personality who
No.
cannot
A fathomlessly. I thought you read that. A fathomlessly.
fathom one
It is called as a
A fa-
fathomlessly deep personality.
a fathomlessly deep personality who cannot be understood by superficial persons hovering on the material platform. Although Srila Prabhupada walked among us, in many ways appearing like an ordinary man, what we saw and experienced of him was only the tip of the iceberg. His pure spiritual consciousness was incomprehensible to mere mortals or even to neophyte devotees who are just on the
Threshold.
threshold of the house of bhakti. 432 note. This phrase is from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.7 purport. Um,
Srila Prabhupada's achievements.
Srila Prabhupada's achievements as a visionary, revolutionary, leader, organizer, manager, scholar, teacher, author, and ultimately as a devotee were so outstanding that he would have been highly lauded had he excelled in even one of these fields. These skills are rarely complementary. A scholar is hardly expected to be a revolutionary or a manager, but Srila Prabhupada excelled in them all and in practically everything else that he did. Only one of Krishna's topmost confidential devotees could perform such extraordinary activities. Pure, pure devotee Nitya Siddha Mahabhagavata. According to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the only duty of all merciful persons is to transform the contrary inclination of conditioned souls 433 quoted in Bhakti Vikas Swami Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav volume 1 page 217, a function that can only be done fully by a person whose own inclinations are fully different from those of conditioned souls. Therefore, an inaugurator
Inaugurator.
an inaugurator of the preaching of pure devotional service in a particular time or place must be a person from the spiritual world. He cannot be another conditioned soul. He does not belong to the material world. He is a Nitya Siddha, one who executes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission must be considered eternally liberated. He is a transcendental person and does not belong to this material world. Such a devotee engaging in the deliverance of the total population as an magnum
Is as magnanimous as.
is as magnanimous as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Such a personality factually represents Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because his heart is always filled with compassion for all conditioned souls. 434 note Chaitanya Charitamrit 2.15.163 purport. The term Nitya Siddha means eternally perfect and refers to an ever liberated personal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 435 Chaitanya Charitamrit 2.22.14 to 15 purport. One who is eternally Krishna associate, an expansion of Krishna's personal body. 436 note Srimad Bhagavatam 10.8.48 purport. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has given considerable discussion about Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha devotees. 437 note, that is Srimad Bhagavatam 7.10.3 purport. And according to such descriptions, Srila Prabhupada included within his own books much delineation of the position of Nitya Siddha devotees, among whom he himself is to be understood as the preeminent example at the present time. Krishna sends Nitya Siddhas from Vaikuntha to uplift the common men of this world. Nitya Siddha devotees come to this material world to teach by their personal example how to become a devotee. The living entities in this material world can take lessons from such Nitya Siddha devotees and thus become inclined to return home back to Godhead. A Nitya Hare Krishna. Siddha yeah. Nitya Siddha devotee comes from Vaikuntha upon the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and shows by his example how to become a pure devotee. Anya Vilashita Sunyam. The Lord Himself has no desire to send His pure devotee to this material world, nor does a devotee have any material purpose in coming. When the Lord Himself appears as an incarnation within this material world, He is not allured by the material atmosphere and he has nothing to do with material activity, yet by his example he teaches the common man how to become a devotee. Similarly, a devotee who comes here in accordance with the order of the Supreme Lord shows by his personal behavior how to become a pure devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, is a practical example for all living entities, including Lord Brahma. 438 note. Ibit.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, then pranam.
Krishna Pranam. Oh. Welcome, Mariam Daksh Madhav Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me? No, I don't hear. I don't know. Okay. Aditya, you can read.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
In spite of coming to this material world, the Nitya Siddha devotee is never attracted by the allurements of material enjoyment. Reference I bid. He always remains in Krishna consciousness, and everything he does is completely spiritual. Such a person is an eternally liberated associate of the Lord, and his body is completely spiritualized. Although he is visible to material eyes, he is spiritually situated and all his activities are spiritual. Reference to Chaitanya Charitamrita 3.5.50 text. Sometimes an ever liberated personal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead descends into this universe just as the Lord descends. Although working for the liberation of conditioned souls, the messenger of the Supreme Lord remains untouched by the material energy. Generally, ever liberated personalities live in the spiritual world as associates of Lord Krishna, and they are known as Krishna Parishada, associates of the Lord. Their only business is enjoying Lord Krishna's company, and even though such eternally liberated persons come within this material world to serve the Lord's purpose, they enjoy Lord Krishna's company without stoppage. The ever liberated person who works on Krishna's behalf enjoys Lord Krishna's company through his engagement. Reference Chaitanya Charitamrita 2.22, 14-15th purport. A Nitya Siddha comes to to this world in the same manner as does the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord comes to this material world through the agency of his internal potency, and similarly, when a devotee or associate of the Lord descends to this material world, he does so through the action of the spiritual energy. Reference Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 1st chapter, 35th verse, purport. Like Krishna, Nitya Siddhas belong to the spiritual world and remain transcendental even when they appear in the material world.
Prabhu, can you read a little slowly? Little
Yes,
faster.
Prabhu. Yes. Okay, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Nitya Siddhas belong to the spiritual world. They never come in contact with this material world, and even if they come for some business under the order of the under the order of the Supreme Lord, they do not touch these material qualities. They remain always transcendental, as Krishna always remains transcendental even though he is in this material world. Similarly, Krishna's Nityasiddha associates are also transcendental. They never touch this material world. Reference to lecture 14th July 1973. And thus Nityasiddhas are categorically different from conditioned souls. Although the Nityasiddhas appear in the material world and seem to be common members of the world, they never forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead in any condition. The Nityasiddha never forgets his relationship with the Supreme Personality, whereas the Nitya whereas the Nitya is always conditioned. All Nityasiddhas within this material world may appear to toil like ordinary men, but they never forget their position as servants of the Lord. By the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Nityasiddha remains within this material world like an ordinary man, but the only business of the Nityasiddha is to broadcast the glories of the Lord. We have to accept the fact that the Nityasiddhas are completely distinct from the Nityabaddhas, who are ordinary human beings. Reference to Chaitanya Charitamrita 2.5.113 purport. A pure devotee of the Lord does not live on any planet of the material sky, nor does he feel any contact with material elements. His so-called does material body does not exist, being surcharged with the spiritual current of the Lord's identical interest, and thus he is permanently freed from all contaminations of the sum total of the Mahatattva. He is always in the spiritual sky, which he attains by being transcendental to the sevenfold material covering by the effect of his devotional service. The conditioned souls are within the coverings, whereas the liberated soul is far beyond the cover. Reference to Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 13th chapter, 55th verse purport. The position of a Nitya Siddha also differs from that of a Sadhana Siddha, an ordinary human being who, by executing pious activities and following the regulative principles of devotional service, also comes to that stage. Reference to Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 8th chapter, 48th purport. Although there is no difference between the two in the ultimate issue, reference to Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 3rd chapter, 15th verse. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati emphasized that this distinction be clearly maintained. The supreme enjoyer of transcendental pastimes sends his own associates into this material world as his devotee incarnations in order to spread his glories, to show how exclusively devoted to his service are certain Harijanas, devotees, and to bring other Harijanas back to his abode. The actual facts are distorted if such personalities are counted among those who have become perfect by regulated practice. Reference
Also,
to Prabhuji.
yes, yeah.
Reference to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Brahmana and Vaishnava Harijana Kanda. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defined a first-class Vaishnava as one whose very presence makes others chant the holy name of Krishna. Yahara darshana muke aise Krishna nama tahare janiha tumi Vaishnava pradhana. Reference to Chaitanya Charitamrita 2.16.74 text. Srila Prabhupada's comments on this verse as quoted below, largely follow those of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. Srila Prabhupada also discusses therein the concept that a topmost devotee, for the sake of preaching, may descend to the intermediate platform. If an observer immediately remembers the holy name of Krishna upon seeing a Vaishnava, that Vaishnava should be considered a Mahabhagavata, a first class devotee. Such a Vaishnava is always aware of his Krishna conscious duty, and he is enlightened in self realization. He is always in love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and this love is without adulteration. Because of this love, he is always awake to the to transcendental realization. Because he knows that Krishna consciousness is the basis of knowledge and action. He sees everything as being connected with Krishna. Such a person is able to chant the holy name of Krishna perfectly. Such a Mahabhagavata Vaishnava has the transcendental eyes to see who is sleeping under the spell of Maya, and he engages himself in awakening sleeping conditioned beings by spreading the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. He opens eyes that are closed by forgetfulness of Krishna. Thus, the living entity is liberated from the dullness of material energy and is engaged fully in the service of the Lord. The Madhyama Adhikari Vaishnava can awaken others to Krishna consciousness and engage them in duties whereby they can advance. It is therefore said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita 2.6.279, लोहा के यावत् स्पर्शी हैम नाहि करे तावत् स्पर्शमानी केह चिनिते न पारे. One cannot understand the value of touchstone until it turns iron into gold. One should judge by action, not by promises. A Mahabhagavata can turn a living entity from abominable material life to the Lord's service. This is the test of a Mahabhagavata. Although preaching is not meant for a Mahabhagavata can descend to the platform of Madhyama Bhagavata just to convert others to Vaishnavism. Actually, a Mahabhagavata is fit to spread Krishna consciousness, but he does not distinguish where Krishna consciousness should be spread from where it should not. He thinks that everyone is competent to accept Krishna consciousness if the chance is provided. A neophyte and an intermediate devotee should
always.
should always be eager to hear the Mahabhagavata and serve him in every respect. The neophyte and intermediate devotees can gradually rise to the platform of Uttama Adhikari and become first class devotees. Symptoms of a first class devotee are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarvabhuteshu yah pasyed Bhagavad Bhavam Atmanah Bhutani Bhagavat Atmanya Esha Bhagavatottamaha. The most advanced devotee sees within everything the soul of all souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Consequently, he sees systematically everything in relation to the Supreme Lord and understands that everything that exists is eternally situated within the Lord.
Okay,
Shall
Prabhu.
I continue, Prabhu? Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. I don't know, GTD is Mataji. I don't
Hare
know.
Krishna Prabhu. I have Hare Krishna Prabhu. Are you able to hear?
Yes, Mataji. What's your name, Mataji?
I'm Gopinatheshwari Devidasi.
Okay, okay. So, Mataji, can you please read? Is it okay for you?
But I don't have the book with me.
Sorry, Mataji?
I don't have the book, Prabhu.
Oh, you don't have the books, then you should order immediately.
I have already taken an order, but it is yet to come.
Okay. So you can read from the screen and I will turn the pages for you. And you can read slowly and clearly. Okay, Mataji? Continue.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. When teaching Sanatana Goswami, the Lord further said, Shastra Yukte Suni Punam Dridashraddha Yandra Uttama Adhikari Se Taraye Samsara. One who is expert in the Vedic literature and has full faith in the Supreme Lord is an Uttama Adhikari, a first-class Vaishnava, a topmost Vaishnava who can deliver the whole world and turn everyone to Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Charitamrita 2:22-65. With great love and affection, the Mahabhagavata observes the Supreme Personality of Godhead, devotional service, and the devotee. He observes nothing beyond Krishna consciousness, and Krishna's devotees. The Mahabhagavata knows that everyone is engaged in the Lord's service in different ways. He therefore descends to the middle platform to elevate everyone to the Krishna conscious position. 450. Chaitanya Charitamrita 2:16-74 purport. Similarly, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura has given some practical hints to the effect that an Uttama Adhikari Vaishnava can be recognized by his ability to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. 451-452. The Nectar of Instruction, Text 5 purport. The very fact that Srila Prabhupada was able to infuse Krishna consciousness into others speaks of his powerful spiritual connection with Krishna. A pure devotee always engages in the service of the Lord, taking shelter
Mataji,
of his.
just 1 second.
Mm.
This 452, the reference in the book, it is so much is given here, it is not there. I don't know. The asterisk, now there are several statements. This whole thing is there. No, here it is not mentioned. I don't know why. It's not there. Okay, I will. If actually this should be read, there are several statements of Bhaktivinoda. You don't have the book, no? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I want to read it because then you can start reading from the very fact. Okay, I will read the asterisk mark because I have the book. So there is an asterisk mark in the given in this statement in the 452 Vaishnavism 21 and asterisk mark. The asterisk mark is there. There are several statements of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that hint at this. All reflect an utterance by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recorded in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita 2.16.74. When you become a Parama Bhagavata, you will also be able to transmit Shakti. Such a great Vaishnava can first create faith in Sri Nama by bestowing spiritual Shakti on the Jivas and after that instruct them about Harinama. If you were to ask me, who is a Vaishnava? My answer would be simply, in quotes, one who chants the names of Krishna purely, unquote. There are three types of Vaishnavas: Kanishta, neophyte; Madhyama, intermediate, and Uttama, most advanced. One who occasionally chants Krishna's name is a Kanishta Vaishnava. One who constantly chants Krishna's names is a Madhyama Vaishnava. An Uttama Vaishnava spontaneously inspires others to chant Krishna's name by his very presence. According to the teachings of Sri Chaitanya, one must strictly go by these symptoms to categorize Vaishnavas. This is from Jaiva Dharma, chapter 2. Continuing. There are three kinds of Vaishnava: Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Satyaraj Khan that anyone who takes Krishna Nama is a Vaishnava. One who constantly takes Krishna Nama is a Madhyama Vaishnava. And the Uttama Vaishnava is he whose very sight makes Krishna Nama appear spontaneously in one's mouth. This is from Jaiva Dharma, chapter 23. See also Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 15th chapter, 169 verse. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Harinama Chintamani, 4.51 and 52. Yes, Mataji, you can continue and we will stop after this quote. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. The very fact that Srila Prabhupada was able to infuse Krishna consciousness into others speaks of his powerful spiritual connection with Krishna. A pure devotee always engages in the service of the Lord, taking shelter of his lotus feet, and therefore he has a direct connection with the saffron mercy particles that are strewn over the lotus feet of the Lord. Although when a pure devotee speaks, the articulation of his voice may resemble the sound of this material sky. The voice is spiritually very powerful because it touches the particles of saffron dust on the lotus feet of the Lord. As soon as a sleeping living entity hears that powerful voice emanating from the mouth of a pure devotee, he immediately remembers his eternal relationship with the Lord, although up until that moment he had forgotten everything. 453 Srimad Bhagavatam 4:20-25 purport.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay.
One second. You can read, Mataji. There are two other quotes. Yeah, you can read. Yes.
Okay, yeah. The influence of the pure devotees in Krishna consciousness is such that it can awaken others to become immediately Krishna conscious and engage themselves in the transcendental loving service of Krishna. 454 reference. Chaitanya Charitamrita 2:11 102 purport. Pure devotees of the Lord can instantly deliver the entire universe and take everyone to the shelter of the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. 455. Renunciation through Wisdom, Chapter 2.
Okay, Mataji. We'll stop here. Thank you. All right.
Thank
So, okay, devotees. So we'll stop here. And if you have any question, you may ask. Otherwise, this session ends here and you may leave. And if any devotees has any questions, they can ask. Otherwise, we can end the session here today. Tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can ask. You can unmute yourself and ask. Okay, nothing to ask. So one more thing, kindly devotees, if you don't have the book or if you want to distribute the book, kindly order the book and I can give the link. Everybody knows it's in books.bvks.com. It's available. You can order it And you can share the recordings which we are sharing in the YouTube channel. So share those in your near and dear devotees who are there. That's it. So we will stop here and meet tomorrow. Okay, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. So now we will continue tomorrow. Page number 110. Okay, stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Panchakilpatarubhyascha. Pritanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। परम पूज्य भक्ति विकास स्वामी महाराज की जय। द मोडर्न मिशन ऑफ श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभु हरे कृष्ण
Thank you,
हरे
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
कृष्ण।